was an amazing actor who got basically run out of Russia because he was going to be killed by the Bolsheviks and everybody because of the power of his performances.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the people loved him, but the powers that be didn't love him. And then he moved around Europe, and then he came to America and taught like very famous American Hollywood actors, including like Clint Eastwood. But then they asked him, like, you got to develop a system so when you pass, you could share with us. That was always his goal. But the problem was he spoke a lot about like energies, a lot of Eastern thoughts on how he acted, and they totally shoved that off to the side. And instead, this other Russian director who was actually the teacher of this guy Chekhov, later rejected everything his teacher taught him and said, it's too psychological, everything is so literal. Like Freud was coming out, all that, the literal psychoanalysis. That's where method acting, like Brando and everything came out. And they try to peg it as that, like psychoanalytical acting.
Okay.
But he's now becoming popular because people are more open to the idea of energies, spiritual things that can't be seen, can't be touched.
Yeah, and people are becoming more aware of it and open to it. So that's cool too.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at what yoga was like 20 years ago.
I
Look
know.
at it now. And yoga is great because it's not just a physical exercise, it's the well-being from inside that carries out. And you couldn't talk about yoga without being like a hippie before, but now everybody's doing it. Grandmas
that's
are doing
true.
it.
That's really true.
Yeah. So I think you're right on the
and that's
the
one
cusp,
thing
if anything.
Yeah, that's one thing that I like too, is actually having the degree in biology is helpful to my cause, because then I'm not just another one of those crazy yoga hippies or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's
good.
true.
I'm educated.
Who cares what they think anyway? But I agree.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to bring it, check it out. I'm valid.
Yeah, exactly.
I got credentials.
Yeah.
That's cool. So biology can lead to that, or is it?
Well, it didn't lead to it directly. I took like private classes up in the city, and but my favorite part about it is there is an aspect of it where you do one-on-one sessions with someone, but my favorite aspect of it is actually teaching people, because I don't want people to ever come to me and be like, oh, heal me or help me or you can do this for me. It's like, no, you can do this for yourself. Let me show you how you could do it. So it's all about really empowering people to just trust their inner knowing.
Do you ever see someone that's totally just like blocked?
All the time.
Do they become like your apprentice at that point, or do they become like
a
student?
I just teach classes.
Yeah. And it's on them to keep coming.
And they come.
You don't have like a curriculum or anything?
There's a curriculum.
There is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of encompasses all of like the normal like things that you would hear about typically, like for psychics to do, like whether it's doing a future reading or doing like a past life regression or doing like talking to spirits or talking to ancestors, talking to guardian angels, things like that. Like, because basically it's like the information's all around us. It's like just opening yourself up to receive it, and it's available to everyone. So
you're not a psychic?
When I want to be, I
when
can.
You want to be.
But most of the time I don't want to be.
Have you always had that?
Well, everybody does.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, haven't you ever had the experience of the phone ringing and knowing who it was before you answered it? Haven't you ever?
I've never had that.
You've never had that?
You know what I have had, though?
Tell me what you had.
They call it deja vu.
Yeah.
I've had that, where I've dreamt this particular scene. I was out in front of my grandma's house, and at the time I was dating this girl who lived 3 houses down. And in the dream, I found out like she had kissed somebody or something had happened along. That wasn't so distinct, but the way I was looking at the house, the way everything was in my mind, in my dream, I remembered that vividly. And one day it just like, it was like everything started going right into place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I've had that same experience too. That was going to be my second example. So what do you think about that though? Do you think that it happened because you had the dream? Or do you think that it was already going to happen and you just sensed it first?
I should probably ask you that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think dreams are amazing, crazy things.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of times, ideas I have for movies, I could even say I have an idea for a movie, they come from my dreams. It's just the idea of like what we said about an image, and if you can reproduce that image, I don't know.
Well, if your films are your dream, that's an interesting concept. Because that'd be like you were literally creating your own reality. You ever feel like that sometimes?
I don't know. I don't know why I chase those images. Why did that guy make that movie we just saw? What did you like that movie? Did you feel you're watching his dreams?
It didn't really hit me on a deep or personal level. I mean, I guess there's very few movies that have actually done that.
I don't know if it's American films or... it's always the same thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's always the same.
The guy who marries the younger woman.
Never go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's no consequences. Everybody's having sex with everybody else. It's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is. And it feels like in real life, all the crazy things happen, but there's never really a rhyme or reason to it. It's never a big lesson. There's never a resolution. It's just kind of like everything's happening. And for myself, I always feel like I'm left just asking why, or stuck in a state of confusion. But at the same time, just moving forward. And I guess in that way, it's kind of like being an actor or an actress within my own life.
That's beautiful. I guess I always didn't know how to process all this. I don't know. It seems so much easier when it's in a frame.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason I really like books is because they can kind of put the words to everything that a person is emotionally processing. And I feel like the description of what a person is going through internally is kind of something that can't be conveyed in film.
You read books?
Yeah.
How do you have time to read books? I don't have time.
Well,
Everything I learned, I can watch in a movie, I guess. I guess
Yeah.
that's...
Well, I read them late at night when no one else can stop me from doing it.
So you read books. Any favorite books?
A few favorites. My favorite book is called 100 Years of Solitude. Have you ever heard of it? It's pretty amazing. It's
Sounds horrible.
Well, everybody dies.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's about a family, all the members in their family throughout like 4 generations, and how their family's cursed. But throughout the book, it's just sprinkled in magic and love stories.
Why do films try to make stories if you can't even touch what a book can do? Why do you think they try to make stories?
I don't know. I know it took me about 2 months to read that book. And when I was done with it, I was sad that it was over. And another thing that was my favorite about that book is there wasn't a happy ending. Everybody died. And the last member of the family, a baby, born with a tail, was eaten alive by ants. So those are the kind of books
I should read this book.
Those are the kind of books I like to read.
It gives me hope for my movies.
Maybe that's why they don't make some books into movies. Yeah, good book. My favorite.
I guess I always thought just if you make a movie, kind of whoever wrote that maybe wanted to express himself. I don't know if it was about expressing myself, but I guess what they've done for me, I kind of want to pay it forward.
I think that one of the cool things about expressing yourself in film, it's easier to reach a larger audience because sometimes people are lazy and don't want to take the time to read.
Don't have attention spans.
Yeah, patience. And it's so much easier just to throw on a movie and sit there and watch it instead of use our imagination sometimes.
Yeah.
I brought this along. My dad gave it to me when I was a little girl.
I never got to know my grandpa, but every picture that I've been able to get of him was on a Polaroid.
Really?
Not me, but that I've been able to find.
Well, my dad gave it to me when I was a little girl. He died when I was 14.
I'm sorry.
So I guess I always kind of held on to it and continued to take pictures with it as a way to remember him.
I used to run around with disposable cameras. It was kind of fun. You never knew what you were going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything I shot was usually not focused, or it was just a mess anyway, but
Yeah.
it was fun. You never knew.
So it's kind of nice, you know, now with the digital technology, you can see exactly what you're going to get. But the thing I like about this is you only get one shot. Can I take your picture?
Me? Sure.
Okay. Remember, you only get one shot.
Okay.
Act natural.
Natural.
Hold on. Isn't that great? It takes a while. But once it's ready.
So you have this picture here. Is this, whatever is going to come out of this, is this what it's all about? Like, is this art in itself?
This is a moment frozen in time. I think art is anything that's made beautiful, more beautiful than it was originally. It could be art in the typical sense with paint, or it can just be an interaction between two people. Somebody who was a stranger is now your friend. There's an artistic aspect to that too. So, are you busy this evening?
No.
Well, if there was something that I want to do, would you want to do it with me?
Yeah.
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 I have something I want to show you, but we have to drive there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have my van parked down the street. You want to go for a ride?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.